Unless we're facing a wall, and then we will turn.
Then you will turn and then go forward. So where we start is first off, because I'm remembering to say so, everyone gets a short rest applied. So if you need to spend hit dice, great.
All right.
I'll spend some fucking hit dice. Heck yeah.
I don't need it. He didn't get touched so far.
You have a penchant for playing characters that don't tend to get attacked very much, or hit very much, that is.
Excuse
You do get attacked a lot,
Echo has
yes.
gone unconscious almost every major battle.
That's true. That's true.
Charlotte's the tank. Echo is not.
I will, however, invoke my
Fucking rude.
my bloodwell vial for the 5 sorcery points it gives me on a short rest until the next dawn.
Hell yeah.
I want you to know I rolled 3 hit dice and I got minimum on more than half of them.
Wow.
Oh no.
Wow. And those were D10s too. That's rough.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna roll my D12s. If I got minimums on D12s, I'd be sad.
It would be even sadder, that's true. So let's start by going back to where we were before everyone kind of split up, as folks were about to split up. And let's jump to Calder and Echo very quickly. Where we last left off, the two of them were flying on the same broom, on different brooms.
Real quick, I think we need to establish, who did Calder make everybody look like? Like, before we split up, what does everybody look like?
We had that conversation.
I think we definitely would have discussed it, but because of the duration of the spell, it's not going off until like just before fighting is going to really get going.
It lasts for like 8 hours, right?
Does it? I don't recall. I believe.
I think seeming lasts 8 hours.
Let me double check just to be sure.
It's not concentration, too.
It is 8 hours. So yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it is 8 hours. So yeah. The joke is that everyone who is within the area of effect when casting the spell is going to look like Barnabas. Some variation of Barnabas.
We had talked about actually doing Barnabas and Sven. So because I was going to go off, Kretha was going to go off with the Barnabas, but I'm going to be looking like Sven. So we would have a Barnabas and a Sven. So it looks more.
Yes.
Official?
So you're looking like Sven. And then back at the camp, Peichel and Ivan also look like a pair of Barnabas and Sven.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sven's coming with us because Echo looks like Barnabas.
Yeah.
Cool.
Third base. Okay. So do we now know? Because I caught most of that. Does everyone know who you look like?
It was such a hard conversation when we were having it on Wednesday. So
Calder would offer the same thing to Ghost, but literally, I don't care what you want to look like. I will make you look however the hell you want to look like, Barnabas or no. If you want to look like yourself, but somehow grandiose and glowing, I can do that.
So you could like draw on top of this. Sven.
Can you make me but bigger?
About a foot taller, yeah.
I'll take it.
So buff.
Would you like streamers? Would you like to look more muscled?
No more muscle. Bigger hair.
Like he'll snap his fingers. It happens.
Yes.
So, well, hold on for a second, because seeming it's a level 5 spell. So the effect of you casting it is very dramatic. And as Calder begins to cast this spell, the shadows sort of gather around him and begin to reach out to each of you in order to sort of mold your appearance. But Calder, as you're casting the spell, your vision is going to kind of go dark for a minute.
Uh-oh.
And like you can't see through your own shadows. And then you get this sensation of heat. And the light begins to rise once again, a sort of dark red-orange light. And you find yourself on an unfamiliar plane.
What?
What?
And as you look
that would be
around-
Calder's response, though.
as you look around, you see a creature shambling toward you. I'm sharing an image right now.
It's finally happened. I experienced something so stupid I died.
So this
That is a creature.
this robed creature is kind of leaning on its staff and sort of hobbling towards you. And I'd like you to go ahead and make an Arcana check with advantage, please.
The fuck?
With advantage.
It's a fabulous outfit, though. I mean, it's really well tailored to that odd shape.
Dirty 20.
Okay, a 20. Okay. With a 20, the first thing you recognize is that this is some remote area of the Nine Hells.
Uh-huh.
The second thing you realize is that this creature that is hobbling towards you is an Amnesu. They are generally like high-ranking generals in fiendish armies. We're talking like Baylor level creatures. And the third thing you realize is that the area you're in isn't actually the Nine Hells. It's, you think, with a 20 Arcana check, you think that you are in some sort of mentally projected demiplane, and you feel like time is probably not moving very quickly for those that you left behind.
Okay.
So this is not you being physically transported somewhere else. You realize that you are experiencing a sort of mental projection.
Okay, someone wants my attention. Interesting.
So this creature hobbles towards you. And as he gets close, he towers over you.
Okay.
He looks down. And he goes,
Calder Creed. Yes?
That is my name. He will nod.
I have been sent to facilitate a deal between you and those who have interest in the battle that you fight. Your
A very loud and very unrestrained shout of what?
I have been contracted to offer you information, power for your current struggle, which affects us here as well. If you're interested in listening, I can give you the terms.
You're seriously being calling me here to make a deal? Now?
I agree, it is well underneath my usual station. This is a very unusual situation. That they contracted me speaks very, very well of their opinion of you.
From what I understand, sir, that is true. You can understand, though, that I'm a bit skeptical.
Ah, yes. Faustian deals and all of that. What we offer is significant. It can turn the tide of the battle you are fighting.
I'll hear it. Because Calder is nothing if not hubristic.
The terms I was given, and I am authorized to negotiate, in exchange for either the power to destroy your enemies or the power to protect yourself from magic, you will give us a favor at a later date.
A favor.
In exchange for information on your situation for a second favor.
A second favor. Okay, so to owe 2 favors to hell.
To specific denizens of hell, not the entirety of the plane, but yes.
I am so sorry to have wasted your time.
I told her this was a waste of time. You are far beneath the notice of those such as us. But are you certain you refuse? The power we are offering is great.
Who is her?
That sounds very much like information.
You're the one that's been empowered to negotiate.
Yes. But if you would have information, it wouldn't come for free.
Well, without knowing what the information is, the only thing I know about your benefactor is they're a devil from hell.
That is an assumption you make, yes.
Given the fact that I am in the 9 hells talking to someone who offering me great power in exchange for favors to hell, it feels like a safe assumption.
Was my approach too cliche? It's been a long time since I've facilitated a deal like this.
I mean no disrespect, sir, but your kind is known to me, and I know to respect you and your power. But
Well,
I am also not... I am not like my father.
No. That much is certain.
I am afraid I am confident that I can destroy my enemies on my own.
Very well. I am authorized to tell you the name of my client, if it will ease the deal.
Sure.
My client is Glaisa, the daughter of Asmodeus, and your mother.
Calder will... What?
Shall
What
we
did you
continue our negotiation?
No. You have to repeat that first.
I said, Glaisa, the daughter of Asmodeus, your mother.
The Calder will just like stand there, just like gobsmacked, not able to think.
He looks at his wrist, which doesn't have anything on it, and he looks back up and says,
I'm afraid our time draws near. Would you wish to make a deal or no? If you agree.
I accept your term. I accept the terms.
When your battle is done, this evening, or perhaps tomorrow, I will arrange a meeting between the two of you, and you can discuss more of the particulars. But for now, I need you to choose the power to destroy your enemies, or the power to shield yourself from magic.
I want the power to destroy my enemies.
he reaches a long, clawed, gnarled hand towards you, which probably, the hand from fingertip to wrist, is probably about as long as your forearm.
Oh, glorious.
And he reaches down to you, offering you his hand.
Very reluctantly, Calder will extend his hand toward the thing.
His grip is exactly as clammy as you think it would be.
Oh.
And with that, the darkness consumes your vision again, and you awaken, still mid-incantation, as folks are their features are changing into Barnabas.
Okay.
As you finish your incantation, the shadows that are coalesced around you don't fade and disperse as they usually do. Instead, they coalesce onto your right arm and then down slowly into your right hand, where they extend into a gnarled staff. And when you look directly at the staff, it looks like matte or ebony. No shine to it, but when seen through peripheral vision, it looks like a living, moving mass of shadows. And that goes for everyone else as well. You will see it as it forms in his hand.
Well, that's different.
You did the seeming on us and you got a thing.
That,
Is that
I
part
did
of
not
it?
know that was even a thing that.
Ghost is
I am
gonna try
having
to
a-
put a hand through the stick.
You'll hit the stick. It's a stick. It's a stick.
Okay, what is this supposed to be a part of the spell?
I have placed the shadow staff into the chat. I'm going to go ahead and list off what it can do, just so that you've got that right now. First off, it's a +2 staff, and it also gives you a +2 bonus to your spell attack rolls. You also gain resistance to necrotic damage. The staff has 10 charges. It regains 1d6 +4 every day. And it has a few different powers that I'm going to go ahead and list very quickly. For 1 charge, Shadow Step, which is like Misty Step, except it's got a 60-foot range and it can only go from a place of dim light or darkness to another place of dim light or darkness. 3 charges.
Okay.
Tenebrous Form. You can use an action to become a living shadow for an hour, like gaseous form, except your speed is 30 feet instead of 10 feet.
Okay.
For 4 charges, Wall of Shadows. As Wall of Fire, except it deals necrotic damage instead of fire damage.
Jesus.
Finally, at 6 charges, Shadow Bolt, which is a DC 17 dexterity throw for a disintegration effect, except again, necrotic damage instead of force damage.
Oh, God.
You intuit this the moment you
Or
grasp
the
it.
opposite of that. Jesus.
You intuit this the moment you grasp it, and I will go ahead and let you attune to it instantly. What are your attunement slots looking like right now?
I'll need to
Actually,
drop.
Jeff, I think it should be grandfather. God damn.
I will have to drop something, I'm sure.
Probably the Harper pin at this point. Like,
Fuck it. What are they gonna do? Come for you and then you disintegrate them? Shit. This motherfucker.
Yeah, that's the best candidate. Yeah, the Harper pin will decouple from me.
All good?
Rather, I'll still be wearing it, but it's just not going to be doing anything.
Yeah.
or the ring. You have the ring version, but yeah.
Mhm. I do have the ring version, so that ring will be inactive. But son of a bitch, this thing is gnarly. I understand why you are reluctant to hand out magic staffs. Jesus.
Echo's just looking at Calder, who's just like, staff in front of him. Just, you okay, bud?
I am
That's
having
all.
I am having a very strange day.
Okay.
It is very strange. We all look so different, but we sound the same.
I am taller.
I will say,
You are taller, yes.
um,
It is very fetching on you. Doesn't he look very fetching, Calder? Look how tall and glorious his hair is. I think it would be really nice to run your fingers through it.
Calder will snap his fingers and make Kretha look like a version of Durgadin.
Speaking of Durgadin, when
I look
Kreetha
like a
looks
different dwarf. Wasn't I supposed to look like Spell?
Psychonthrope,
Durgadin.
no, not quite that powerful. Speaking of Durgadin, when
Yeah, what do you
Kreetha
mean?
looks at the Shadow Staff, like Durgadin is wary of this thing. Like you feel a tentative, like not quite fear, but very healthy concern about this this weapon that has appeared in Calder's hands.
So where did you get the stick, Calder?
That is I can sincerely say I have no fucking clue where this thing came from. But I'm having a very strange day, and this is not the place for that conversation.
Right, yeah, casualties mounting. We should probably head out. Everybody knows their team?
All right, I am Sven again, right? I am Sven. I turn over to look at
Look,
King
you will look
Shoulder.
like the very a cartoonish level exaggerated image of Sven as a wizard, down to like the full the drooping pointy hat with covered in stars and a set of blue robes that are like 3 sizes too big for you.
Black wand with a white tip.
It's not too different from what he actually
It's a pretty good
It's
likeness.
just drawn by a 5-year-old.
She reaches down and picks up her skirts, basically.
It's your normal skirt. The robes aren't actually there.
I know, but she can't. It still freaks her out.
The illusion will accommodate the motion.
To what?
magic.
I am. All right, I am Sven. I am Sven. She turns to King. My king! I am Sven. We should go, my liege.
So you have 3 potential situations that are occurring in and around the battlefield that you can interact with. And I'm going to go ahead and give you the options, and you can decide who goes where. So from the sort of scouts that are flying around, because some of Barnabas's dwarves do have brooms, from the flying scouts flying around, you are aware of 3 situations that could use your intervention. The first is that there are still corpse flowers around the camp. They are not a big problem now because, generally speaking, they know what to look for and they're sort of organizing a resistance against them, but a corpse flower that is left alone for too long can create an army of zombies. Secondly, you have the information that the militia from Mirabar, the men and dwarves, people and dwarves who came from Mirabar to aid in your defense, have lost their leader. They thought that Anton perished in the first charge, and the desertion rates are starting to get pretty big, so someone should probably go over there and rally them. And finally, you are aware that a group of hill giants has been seen sort of making their way towards the gate, and actually, now that you're thinking about it, by now they're probably at the gate.
Okay.
So you have 3 options. You've got corpse flowers, you've got the militia, you've got the hill giants at the gate.
Well, I know that King Boulder Shoulder was talking about needing to go to the militia, so that may be where we go.
I feel
because
like
I remember that conversation last time.
Yeah. Maybe, the king's voice would be best to facilitate the rounding up of the troops. I feel like I could go punch a giant. Do you want to go punch giants, Calder? Or magically
curious as
punch giants?
I would like to punch the giant.
I'm curious as to a few details myself.
So are we going Ghost Kreetha, Calder, Echo? Is that how we're going? I heard M say that punching giants was a good idea to them as well. Are we sure about our groups?
Calder, do you want to go with the militia thing to see whether or not Anton is dead? Do you want to go with that group?
Annoyedly, Calder will concentrate for a moment and will be clad in shining plate mail.
Oh no, you look like
Oh
it.
no.
I knew you were gonna do that. Oh, you need it.
Just
Yes.
You know, maybe you could have Stinky look like unicorn.
Out of nowhere. Once again, my players never fail to surprise me. I never
annoys
thought
me
in
that
a
that
million
works.
it didn't even occur to me that you would even think to do that. Yes. So
It's a 5th level spell for a reason.
and who knows what Anton looks like better than the person who grew up with him. It's amazing. Perfect. Wonderful.
I have been tormented by this asshole many times.
So let's go ahead and follow Calder, Creetha, and Barnabas as they head towards the front lines. Now, I'm going to jump back to the table really quick.